Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a video. We're just going to have a look a little bit at Mangog, do a bit of review and also do footage in various different areas from 3 types of variants, a little bit of Labyrinth for Legends and a tiny bit of nullification of buffs when it comes to taking on Venom in Act 4. Now it does seem the best process for this champion is to try and get to 10 of your charges, 10 of your hatred charges, and then throwing off an SP2 whilst the point of you being enraged, you should be able to do a good amount of damage. You then put the enemy into a stun. You then press down for your heavy attack, which you're then doing a big hold until that symbol, the arrow symbol, goes totally green and flashes, and then just wait for the enemy to come towards you, and it just then goes out of the heavy attack to smash in a good amount of damage, and then try and keep up the process of damaging with heavy attacks in order to do as much damage as possible whilst enrage is up. I did find the damage not too great, and I think you'll only really maximize this champion's appeal for damage if you are rocking Suicide Masteries. And that's the thing, if you've got the recoil mastery, it does mean that there's a benefit for you with the champion. Which whilst Enrage takes 50% less damage from enemy attacks and the recoil mastery. So that's of benefit if you are rocking the Suicide Masteries. I did find that the 200 signature was needed, especially to get a good amount of improvement when it comes to gaining attack rating per hatred. And as well, the critical damage as well. So it's like a little bit of that. It just kind of adds into the damage output side of things. And that, yeah, just help the elements. And also as part of the process, being unstoppable, having that regeneration of the signature ability helped a lot more. I just kind of felt like this was one of these champions that I wanted to feel more punch. There was more punch, but the punch of the damage was just didn't feel like it was there. But let's roll some footage and see where this champion can be of use, because it is of use and it does some damage and it is relatively fun. So first of all, we got the champion in Realm of Legends, and this is what I've referred to as Juggs Stagger-Fest. So look, with this one, it's all a case of suppressing that unstoppable buff as much as possible. The rotation's there, I'm trying to do that. We go straight to the stun. We then lock in, we build up to the green, max charge is exceeded, and then I'm able to hit in. At this point, I've got the Fury buff, and it's kind of good to kind of like spam in some kind of like just repeated spam there with doing the SP2 to the heavy attack to the other SP2, and I think another heavy attack as well. It worked quite well. This footage at the moment is of the nullification of 10 plus, or around 10 of the buffs. So a nice SP3, because if you don't know, the SP3 of Mangog takes all those buffs, and it definitely took 10 there. So yeah, this is a cool option as well to just link in. Good regeneration. It kind of reminds me a bit of King Groot from the SP3 regeneration styly, and I like that. That's nice, and as well just good damage. But I think this champion will be used a lot more for variants. With variant 6, because this is a hashtag villain, it does mean that the interaction is pretty good. And as well, the extent of damage you can do in a very short space of time just kind of means that this would be a no-brainer. Especially having Stagger, Unstoppable, which does link into some of the nodes at play, some of the globals that you might find. This is variant 5, and because the champion is a mystic, can do a lot of things when it comes to arcane torrent improvements from the second and third chapter, or second and third mission of chapter 2, so 2.2 and 2.3. Either way, this is a good option for most stuff. And again, same process of building up to 10 hatred, which you see top left. Hatred's now done, and now we can then build up to an SP2 in a second. And I'm trying to do what was said, which was try to get the champion close to when he's at that first bar of power. Unfortunately, it didn't work out quite so well, but the same process applies with this here, which is do the max charge, smack in, and then back in again to kind of do a bit more damage. But the I think it was the armor break side of things, with breakthrough helped me out a lot more. This is variant 2, being a hashtag villain. This again is a solid option to take on a bit of content, so it does mean that you can utilize this as much as you possibly can. And as well, a little bit of power control off the SP2 is helpful. But I didn't really use this time. It was just a case of like trying to do as much damage as possible. Trying to make sure that I do my kind of 10 hatred as best I can. Which you just see, I just like tried to do that as again, best I could in this particular interaction. Trying to back off in a second for the champ throws SP1, or SP2 it seems. And then do a further build up as well. and just going like, oh, this is not really kind of a good example. But the Enervate and as well the power control does help out quite a bit. That was some good damage there off the back of that. And yeah, just another option for another piece of content. Now, Labyrinth for Legends. I decided, right, we'll kind of like I'll just play about with this. The biggest problem that I think I've found, and why I kind of abandoned doing a full kind of run through, well, I'm saving for time because I don't want you seeing like an entire fight. It means this video is going to be 20+ minutes long. So I just want to stick it right to the point. And the point is, because the global and Mark of the Labyrinth, I think it's called, does mean that you'll be having a limber type effect. In essence, that if you are doing stuns, it's not going to work all the time, which unfortunately the SP2 really requires you to do that. So that's going to be an issue down the line, and it can't be really kind of like a good option unless you're avoiding using the SP2, which again changes the narrative and the movement and how you play out this champion. So that is just the point there with this, but still damage is okay. One other thing I forgot to mention is that this champion is actually more better. It's incredibly better for variant 6 than I led to believe, especially because it has armor break, which is a massive function for some of the global nodes. It also has unstoppable as well. It's kind of like a double, triple and quadruple hit, especially if you're able to kind of work in things with the SP1, having some extra immunity, but as well having power control and other stuff. So if you're looking for an option that's able to take on various variants, that's the thing, various variants, then this one can do the variant. It can do variant 2, it can do variant 6 and variant 5 pretty effectively, and especially deal with a lot of different other content. I'm not going to write this champion off as saying it's bad because it doesn't damage output as much as I'd like, and I don't really enjoy the rotations, but there are some positives for this champion being utilized for various different content. This is why for me this champion is actually relatively good. If you're looking for options for different things, this is the one. Is this going to be the champion you're going to take in against Labyrinth for Legends, Abyss of Legends? Probably not. I didn't like the rotations and how the champion plays out, but at the same time that shouldn't discourage anybody for taking on this champion and utilizing it for things like variant 6, variant 5 and future variants as well. And also anything to do with like Act 6, Act 7.2 when it's out at a later date. So I'm sure there will be options for paths to take it on. It's just a champion that was good, but it's not something I overly enjoyed. But in any case, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to check out some other content located up there, and I'll see you all very soon for a live stream later tonight. Keep locked to Discord and as well Twitter. Give you a notification. Thanks. Bye.